back to my wedding, I just think about the tragedy. The house turned into a crime scene.
This killing, it is haunting and chilling in a way that I'll never forget.
All new 2020, tonight on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Thanks to Cheryl Underwood for guest co-hosting this week. You were terrific. Thanks for doing that. Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy.
Love you.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A Bangor man has been arrested in connection with the alleged abuse of a child. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A person is recovering after a stabbing in Mattawamkeag yesterday, and lawmakers are working on an emergency measure to fund the commission that pays public defenders. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey, Susan. Happy Friday afternoon. Winter weather advisories are up until 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon for measurable snowfall that will be on the way coming up very soon, along with a small craft advisory up through this afternoon, too. But for now, things have calmed down. We're looking pretty good. Just some clouds that are passing through, but we are watching for more activity presently off toward the west at this time. Futurecast showing increasing clouds today. The snow approaches later on tonight, and then even more snow on the way as we head towards Saturday morning. Gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour today, backing off a little bit overnight, but then once we head towards your Saturday, here we are with more gusty winds on the way, especially along the coast at times. But for today, here we go, upper 30s. Yes, we have sunshine for a bit, but increasing clouds during the afternoon. Breezy as well, with that west wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, we get to talk about the snow, upper 20s. Snow showers enter the picture, and that south wind backing off for a while at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, we have low 40s, rain, and some snow that may knock snow totals down a little bit. It will be breezy with that east wind at around 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast this afternoon, increasing clouds. Temperature is in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A Bangor man has been arrested in connection with the alleged abuse of a child. Bangor police say 41-year-old Henry Ossie was arrested Thursday night after an investigation into the alleged abuse of a juvenile with a wooden dowel on State Street. Police conducted the investigation along with the Department of Health and Human Services, and then Ossie was arrested. Bangor police say Ossie was the alleged victim with the household members. He was taken to the Penobscot County Jail and charged with domestic violence assault. A Guilford man was arrested after Bangor police say a woman reported being assaulted and held at gunpoint in a local motel room. Bangor police say they arrested 48-year-old Joseph Pippin of Guilford. Police say the alleged victim told them she had been staying in the motel room on the Audlin Road with Pippin during this week. Wednesday night, Pippin allegedly threatened her with a firearm and prevented her from leaving. Police say the alleged victim said she was eventually able to escape and call police. Bangor police say their criminal investigation division did recover a firearm from the scene. Pippin was arrested and charged with kidnapping, domestic violence, criminal threatening, and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to an alleged stabbing in Mattawamkeag yesterday. According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched to an Indian Avenue home around 6:30 a.m. for a report of a possible home invasion involving someone being stabbed. Upon arrival, officers determined the victim had fled in a vehicle to a different residence. The victim was located and transported to a local hospital. The investigation is ongoing. Officers say there is no danger to the public. Augusta police have arrested 3 people for breaking into ATM machines. Authorities say it was around 11 o'clock Tuesday night when they responded to a burglary alarm at Trademark Federal Credit Union on Edison Drive. About an hour later, they were called to a similar burglary alarm at Connected Credit Union on Civic Center Drive. That's when they spotted a Toyota sedan fleeing at a high rate of speed and gave chase. The vehicle was later located and the 3 male occupants were arrested Thursday and charged with burglary and criminal mischief. All 3 were taken to the Kennebec County Jail, where they were later picked up by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The Maine Commission on Public Defense Services announced Wednesday that they have reached a critical funding level. The Maine House passed an emergency measure that aims to fund services through the fiscal year, but the work is not over to secure the agency. Our Grace Blanchard has the details.
In a nearly unanimous vote, the Maine House passed an emergency measure in support of LD 2059, a bill to fund public defense services.
To protect constitutional rights for every person in our state.
The vote comes just one day after the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services said they would no longer be able to pay their counsel.
Well, I think what it says is that we recognize the work has already been done and we need to pay our bills. I think that's first and foremost. But I think secondly, it's recognizing that constitutional obligation.
According to the House Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Judiciary, Representative Amy Kuhn, if enacted, the bill would immediately provide funding to pay the lawyers who represent low-income criminal defendants and parents in court.
This is an issue that can't wait. We are out of money.
The executive director of the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services shared with us on Wednesday that if the lack of funding is not addressed urgently, many lawyers will not see payments for their services until July.
What I'm afraid is going to happen is that people are going to step back from cases. And I'm afraid that's going to happen because we're not going to pay them.
The emergency measure provides one-time funding. Representative Ken Fredette of Newport spoke in support of this bill, but says the legislature should begin analyzing the cost of long-term support for PDS.
The cost of this program has gone up each and every year. And at some point in time, we need to understand why those costs continue to go up. Because this is competing with other really important needs that state government has.
The bill will now be headed back to the Senate, where it previously received unanimous support. If passed, it will eventually land on the governor's desk. In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The State Fire Marshal's office is investigating alleged arson fires in Fort Kent. Spokesperson Shannon Moss says local firefighters responded to a structure fire at a Fort Fairfield park and ride. They found smoke coming from an old public works garage. The investigation revealed another fire was allegedly set in an unoccupied house just before the garage fire. Moss says both incidents have been deemed arson. Fort Fairfield Fire and Rescue and the Fire Marshal's Office investigators located 2 people they suspected were involved. 19-year-old Leo Rideout Jr. of Fort Fairfield was arrested and charged with arson. Moss says the investigation is ongoing and additional arrests may follow. The Maine Forest Service is trying to find the people responsible for dumping trash in a stream. The trash was found in Matagoda Stream off Route 169 in Prentice. That's an unorganized area in northern Penobscot County near Springfield. Forest rangers have been going through the debris with hopes of finding items that will identify the culprit. Numerous large bags of trash were left scattered around the area and in the water. Please contact the Bangor Regional Communications Center at 973-3700 if you have any information that will help in the investigation. Democratic lawmakers are pushing for several bills this session that aim to make child care more accessible and affordable for Mainers. Senate President Maddie Daughtry outlined 3 bills she is introducing this session. The measure aims to provide financial support to low-income and vulnerable families in need of child care, strengthen the child care workforce, and establish a grant program that would allow schools and child care providers to partner on meal delivery programs. Senator Daughtry says these proposals align with the needs that she heard directly from child care centers, educators, and parents during her statewide child care tour this summer.
If we want Maine to be a place where young families can put down roots, where businesses can grow, and where communities can thrive, we need to take childcare seriously.
The bills are part of the Lower Cost, Stronger Communities policy package unveiled at the start of the legislative session. Senator Henry Ingerson of Arundel and Representative Travis Hassenfass of Reedfield also shared an update on bills that they have introduced that aim to address Maine's child care crisis. To learn more, you can visit our website at foxbangor.com. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, a local fire department has a new tool to help them care for patients. We've got details when we return.
Foggy's Pub, your place for fun, food, and friends in Palmyra, Maine.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-732-2971 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-732-2971.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
In winter, accidents can happen in an instant. From icy sidewalks to winter roads, there are close calls around every corner. And when a close call becomes something more, insurance companies won't always look out for you, but we will. For over 50 years, the law offices of Joe Bornstein have helped injured Mainers. Accidents happen to be our specialty. When it's more than a close call, call Joe.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The U.S. says it will carry out its heaviest day of strikes in Iran today as the U.S. and Israel's war hits day 14. Officials are carrying out a desperate search for possible survivors after a U.S. aircraft crashed over Iran, killing 4. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the details.
Today, as President Trump insists the war is already won, the Pentagon again saying strikes in Iran are ramping up.
Today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran.
In this new video, you can hear a blast hitting in Tehran during a television interview. As CENTCOM now says all 6 crew members have died after a U.S. refueling plane, a KC-135, crashed in Iraq.
Our service members make an incredible sacrifice to go forward and do the things that the nation asks of them. It's a reminder of the true cost of the dedication and commitment of the Joint Force.
Defense Secretary Hegseth with this message.
War is hell. War is chaos. And as we saw yesterday with the tragic crash of our KC-135 tanker, bad things can happen.
And now, for the first time, the U.S. confirming Iran's new supreme leader, who hasn't been seen or heard from, has been injured.
I think he probably is. I think he's damaged, but I think he's probably alive in some form.
Iranian state media saying the leader had released his first statement yesterday, vowing to continue attacks in the Strait of Hormuz, targeting ships to try to choke off the world's oil supply. It's a key strategy for Iran. Half a dozen ships attacked by unknown projectiles in recent days, engulfed in flames, the price of oil surging.
We have been dealing with it, and don't need to worry about it.
Some Americans, though, are worried about it. A barrel of oil is hovering around $100 and a gallon of gas now at $3.64. Before the war, it was under $3 a gallon. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Federal investigators are analyzing 2 separate attacks, one in Michigan, the other in Virginia. In Michigan, a man is dead after police say he crashed his truck into a synagogue. In Virginia, an ROTC instructor was shot and killed during an attack in a college classroom, both raising concerns about security across the country. ABC's Perry Russum is in New York.
The FBI today investigating two separate terrifying attacks. An ROTC instructor shot and killed at Old Dominion University in Virginia, and a synagogue attacked in Michigan.
There are no words. I was in complete and utter shock.
In West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, outside Detroit, police say 41-year-old Ayman Mohammed Ghazali is dead after crashing a truck through the doors of Temple Israel yesterday, driving down the hallway, exchanging gunfire with security guards.
I want to thank Temple Israel's security personnel. They were selfless in their courage, and they saved lives.
Inside the building, 140 young children evacuated.
This is the important thing. No kids or no staff was injured whatsoever.
Officials say Ghazali became a naturalized citizen in 2016 and recently posted on social media about his relatives being killed during Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon. An official in Lebanon confirming to ABC News the attacker's two brothers, a young niece, and nephew were all killed on March 5th. The FBI says they're investigating the attack as a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community. The attack happening just hours after a separate incident, a deadly shooting yesterday at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. Sources telling ABC News the suspect, identified as 36-year-old former National Guardsman Mohammed Jallow, calmly walked into a classroom and asked if it was an ROTC class. Sources say when someone answered yes, Jallow allegedly shot and killed the instructor.
We have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar.
Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, identified as the instructor, shot and killed. The FBI calling the attack an act of terror. In 2016, Jallow was convicted for attempting to provide material support to ISIS after he tried to acquire weapons for an attack on U.S. soil. He served prison time.
The brave ROTC members in that room subdued him. And if not for them, I'm not sure, what else he may have done.
During the struggle to stop the shooter in Virginia, 2 ROTC members were injured. As of last night, they were listed in stable condition. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Businesses around the country are rounding up their calculators and rounding off business costs as pennies disappear. Retailers and consumers will begin to adjust to round off charges on transactions now that the U.S. penny production has ceased due to excessive costs to make them. Production on the penny stopped in November of last year. States are beginning to issue guidance for cash purchases since giving exact change may not be possible without available pennies. One method they are working with is symmetrical rounding. If final prices after taxes end in 1, 2, 6, or 7 cents, payments in cash round down. That means consumers pay a few cents less. But if final prices end in 3, 4, 8, or 9, cash payments go up, meaning consumers pay a few cents more. Bills on penniless transactions are awaiting final approval by governors in Arizona, Florida, Oregon, Texas, Virginia, and Washington. The U.S. Treasury Department says it will keep about 114 billion pennies in circulation as long as it can, and pennies are still legal payment. A proposed congressional bill on symmetrical rounding hasn't yet been voted on in the House. It will also need a Senate okay and President Trump's signature. A local fire department has a new tool to help them give patients better care. It's called One Dose and One Weight, and it's designed to improve medication accuracy. The device sits on the frame of a stretcher and weighs the patient based on the pressure on the stretcher. Then it calculates how much medication a patient should get. The Herman Fire Department has adopted the system.
The big thing for me is making sure we do good patient care. So if we can mitigate the calculations at 3 a.m. by having something that takes away the math, even better for everyone.
He says that medication error is one of the biggest problems in EMS. He says this also allows emergency responders to focus on other patient needs. After the break, students from all over the state are competing in Skills USA. We'll tell you about it when we return.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
When lives are on the line, they don't hesitate to run towards danger. Unfortunately, the same gear that protects them from deadly flames can be hazardous to their health. Senator Susan Collins to the rescue. Susan helped introduce legislation that protects firefighters and first responders from cancer-causing forever chemicals in their equipment. Because their job is dangerous enough. Call Senator Collins and thank her for protecting Maine's first responders.
At the County Federal Credit Union, we value the trust our members place in us to act in their best interest. Whether it's providing low rates on consumer loans or raising money to end hunger, we work hard to serve our members and the communities in which they live. We are excited to bring the meaningful and impactful work we do to all Mainers as we continue to grow. Wherever you are in life's journey, count on the county to be your financial partner.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Right now, get over $7,300 total value on this 2026 Chevy Silverado. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Flu is a leading cause of pneumonia and serious respiratory illness in the U.S. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
For many people, the flu feels like a miserable but short-lived viral infection, but for others, it can turn serious and even deadly. In 2023, 1 in 5 U.S. deaths from lower respiratory infections, including pneumonia, were linked to the flu, according to a World Health Organization report. Tens of thousands of people die from flu complications each year. The risk is highest for young children, pregnant women, older adults, and people with chronic conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and heart or lung disease. Experts say getting a flu shot every year can help prevent severe illness and protect both you and those around you. See a doctor if you develop fever, chills, cough, sore throat, runny nose, body aches, headache, or extreme fatigue. Or if you notice warning signs of pneumonia, like trouble breathing or coughing up thick phlegm. The CDC also recommends frequent hand washing, covering coughs and sneezes, and avoiding close contact with people who are sick. These simple steps can help slow the spread of flu and other respiratory illnesses. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jacqueline Lee.
Hundreds of students from across the state are putting their skills to the test this week, competing for a chance to represent Maine on a national stage. Our Alex Schley takes us inside the Skills USA Maine competition, where students are showcasing the trades that could help shape their futures.
Thousands of students from across Vacation Land gathered in central Maine this week for the annual Skills USA Maine competition. The two-day event brings together students from career and technical programs from across the state, giving them a chance to showcase the skills they've learned in the classroom.
The best part about Skills USA is just like the fact that I'm planning for my career and my future in such a fun way, and being able to just like go through all these amazing opportunities at such a young age.
This year, about 1,400 students from nearly 30 career and technical schools are taking part. The competition features more than 100 different trade categories, ranging from traditional skilled trades to business and leadership events.
Everything from automotive, baking, culinary arts, all the way through welding.
Winners from each category will go on to represent Maine at the National Skills USA competition in June.
Right now, right here, we have the best of the best students, future workforce of Maine here these next 2 days competing.
Thursday's events featured both middle school and scholastic level competitions. Ellsworth High School senior Destiny Kane, who is running to be a post-secondary officer, says the experiences Skills USA Maine gave her have provided an unparalleled opportunity to build skills and better prepare her for the future.
All of the skills I've learned from this has helped me prepare myself for college and just how to run in the world.
The competition continues Friday, followed by an awards ceremony at the Cross Insurance Center. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
See the brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
I only paid...
Enjoy your new car. Yeah, you too.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson SE for $209 a month, or get 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the Twos.
I got a client who injured their shoulder a big check for $275,000. Hurt in a car accident? I'm your go-to guy.
I'm an oyster farmer and a small business owner. Graham knows what it means to wake up at 4 a.m. with the rest of us. Sullivan needed a harbor master, Graham stepped up. Lobstermen needed help with their gear, Graham dove on it. That's just who he is. I don't see anyone like that in Washington. He cares, he gets Maine, he gets us.
I love every corner of this state and every person in it far too much to just stand by and watch it be ripped apart.
Graham will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
There's no reason to be overwhelmed. We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
Next Jeopardy! He served a defeat to a 4-game champ.
It's fantastic.
Now,
I'm Gordon Ramsay.
Who will cook up a win?
Good luck to all three of you.
Only on ABC7.
See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid...
Finish this bucket on your own.
Enjoy your new car.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Right now, lease a Hyundai Elantra SE for $89 a month, or get 0.99% APR for 60 months. Hurry in.
Well, it feels like winter is back. Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Winter weather advisories up until 2 o'clock Saturday. Measurable snowfall begins tonight, lasting through parts of Saturday. The small craft advisory will be dropping later this afternoon. Wave heights continuing to remain active, though, at around 2 to 5 feet according to the buoys, while farther out towards sea at around 7 to even 13 feet at this moment in time. On land, we've had some clouds passing through. We'll see some sunshine for a while as well before even more clouds begin to approach this afternoon. As we're watching for a system, this is it. That'll begin to move in our direction. But Futurecast moving forward again, we're good for a while, but notice increasing clouds during the afternoon and evening time frame. There's a snow that begins by around 9 to 10 o'clock overnight. We'll keep some opportunities for snow even through parts of Saturday morning and even into parts of Saturday afternoon before it finally begins to taper off as we head towards Saturday night into parts of Sunday. Sunday, we have a lot of sunshine en route. So overall, the current thinking, I'm thinking 2 to 5 inches of snow. This shows about 2 to 3 localized areas of up to 5 inches. I think it's lower than the overall thinking because of some rain chances that'll mix in and keep the snow totals just a little bit lower. But overall, gusty winds will be a thing too, reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times. The coast may see some more wind reaching up to about 30 to 35 miles per hour, but everybody gets in on the wind as we head towards your Saturday. So upper 30s today. Any sunshine we're seeing covered up by clouds later on. It will be breezy with that west wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Overnight, upper 20s. The snow moves in, and we'll have that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we'll keep the snow going tomorrow. Lower 40s mixing with some rain, which will keep totals down a little bit. It will be breezy with that east wind at around 25 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Partly cloudy for your Sunday with highs in the upper 30s. Rain chances Monday and again for your Tuesday. Both days will feature high temperatures in the mid 50s.
Thank you, Devin. The Bangor International Airport and the Maine Troop Greeters are teaming up for a special project. They're hoping to send messages of encouragement to our troops from Maine that are deployed far from home. They're kicking off a program called Mail Call and invite community members to send cards, letters, and even drawings to brighten the troops' day.
We thought it would be a good idea to reach out to some of the Mainers and some of the Maine kids who are deployed and send them a little bit of home.
After 35 years of welcoming troops as they land in Bangor, Tinsman says the greeters know how much words of gratitude and a piece of home can mean. If you would like to participate, you can mail your cards and letters to BGR Mail Call, 287 Godfrey Boulevard in Bangor, Maine, 04401. Pugs in a blanket? It's what happened when Pug Nation Rescue of LA brought pugs to the Belmont Senior Living Facility in Los Angeles. The seniors made the blankets for the pugs who were rescued and are waiting to be adopted. Tuesday, they enjoyed playtime with the seniors. That's all for ABC 7 News. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following is a paid advertisement for Plexiderm Skincare.